So I have the steering assist on now, which is kind of your lane centering, which does a decent job in the Nissans. Of course, it's meant to be used on interstates, which I highly recommend because it isn't Tesla Autopilot or even Ford Blue Cruise by any means, but it's nice to have. And of course, you're getting quite a bit of noise with these off-road tires, but it's rather soothing to me because I do feel like that makes a difference in knowing I'm in an off-road vehicle. But surprisingly, even with the off-road tuned suspension, it doesn't, on the streets, it does not feel like I'm in an off-road vehicle. And that's one of the things that it's hard to do, because obviously you want to sell an off-road oriented vehicle to, you know, your soccer moms and people who just like SUVs and want something that looks aggressive, but they don't want anything that necessarily drives or rides like a Hummer. So you kind of have to find that sweet spot. And so far, the Rock Creek has done that. Drives like a regular Pathfinder, in my opinion. And like I said, the biggest thing is just the road noise at this point from these off-road tires. And the ProPilot Assist surprisingly is doing a really good job, because even though I don't have the lane centering on, still as I go out of the lines, it actually bounces me back in. So pretty impressed there, because these lines on this back road are not in the best shape, and a lot of other test drives I've done, the car hasn't necessarily picked those up. But all in all, it rides really well, considering it's supposed to be an off-road vehicle, which the Pathfinder's always rode well since the redesign, but really like the driving position as well. The hood isn't intrusive, and I like that not a lot is going on the hood, so it's easy to kind of see where it slopes, and it's not a distraction at all. And really like the steering dynamics in this. It's not perfect, but it's pretty good. So I'm going to put it in the sport mode just to accelerate. I'm not going to put my foot all the way in it, but I'm going to give it some throttle. So pretty good acceleration. And I'm sure this is not on premium gas, so everything considered, I'm pretty impressed. And then we'll put it in the eco mode now. And the ProPilot Assist is just a really, really good system. Like I said, it shines on the interstate because it's just kind of focusing on these nice, bright, even lines and keeping you in them. So I don't have to have my hands on the steering wheel, which you're supposed to, and I would recommend that, but it's nice to be able to take a break and shake the steering wheel if that's how you like to drive. But it's not a hands-free system like Super Cruise, Blue Cruise. But even on the interstate here, really impressed by the cabin acoustics. A lot of that sound is coming from the off-road tires, of course, but really can't hear. I can hear the engine a little bit, but I really can't hear a lot of wind intrusion. And ride quality is probably about 7 or 8. And once again, the off-road tires are not helping. That's probably, that along with the off-road tuned suspension is probably contributing to not as good a ride quality as I'm used to in a Pathfinder. Specifically the redesigned ones. But pretty impressed by it overall. I can see out the back window pretty easily. The headrests are kind of in the way in the third row, but of course when it's folded down, you're not going to have an issue. And you can actually fold the headrests themselves down without folding the seats down if you don't have anybody back there. Like I said, all in all, pretty impressive vehicle here, this Rock Creek. We'll just give it a little throttle here in eco mode. Yeah, really good acceleration in eco mode just for a little bit of passing power without having to shift this 9-speed. I'm very impressed. And this will bring me to an end of my review of the new 2023 Nissan Pathfinder Rock Creek.